Alright, it's Wasabi, welcome back to the channel. We've got a battle on the Paris map, and it's Gardyy, who was in Fiddy Clan at the time. He's in his Super Conqueror, the Tier 10 UK heavy tank. It's replaced the FV215B. It's got quite an accurate gun and good gun depression and good frontal turret armour with spaced armour on the side. So it's pretty good in hold down positions. Anyway, Gardyy's going to show how to use this tank in the heavy tank area down at the K5, K6 area. That is a little bit slow. You can add turbo to it to basically improve its speed, which I think Gardyy has done here. And it's just looking for a target on that CS63. That is clearly behind that thing. And just fighting with our T57 here to get prime position. So sometimes you have to, well, not push people away, but yeah, try and get into position ahead of other people. He's got a tier 9 Martian. It says a tier 9, tier 10 game, so it's managed to find the lower plate of the Martian. So Martian's a bit like the mouse in it has pretty wide track areas that are armoured at the front, so there's only a small area that you can shoot at for that weakness. But yeah, this you can see from the circle size of the aiming circle. It's a pretty accurate gun. Goes through the lower front plate of the VZ55. And there's a few tanks there, one behind the other, so it's sometimes a bit hard to work out the which outline is actually shootable. Because once you've outlined something, you see the whole tank outline, you notice, which can be a bit distracting. Anyway, the phase 1 went through probably the roof area, actually, where the commander's cupola. So this is one of the problems. He's on a downward slope, which means you're showing a little bit more of the turret roof. In fact, there he is. Just looked at the holes in his commander's cupola. And he's got a Martian who's pushed up here, so maybe you can take advantage of the distraction there. He doesn't want to push out to the side. He just wants to get his gun up here. And as he puts in a shot into the E4. Now things have gone a little bit quiet here. I'm not sure if that's a bug or it's related to the arty stunning. So we'll just check in a second. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's the arty stun at work. And he's taken another hit there from the phase 1. The phase 1 definitely knows where to shoot at, so he's going to try and return the favour. And phase 1's doing a good job, just moving around, jiggling around. And you can see what Gardy's doing here is he's pushed up onto the mound in front of him. So basically trying to hide his commander's hatch behind the gun, effectively, by tilting the tank upwards. So it's just something to consider if you're in a similar sort of position. Now phase 1's pushed forward a little bit too far, so he's managed to go through it. And there's a rhinoceronte there behind that he can punish, which he's managed to do. So he's already at 3k of damage now, and we're just in the 4th minute of the game. So just give you an idea of, if you can keep this gun working, you can basically put out a fair bit of damage. He's loaded there. He's got his first mark of excellence on this tank, and clearly wants to keep improving on that. And it looks like he's got a bit of a mission going, so we'll just check that in a second. As he gets up to 4.6, so just improving the result on an HT7 mission, so won't worry about that too much. In any case, he's now just ticked over 5k of damage, and he's got a damaged gun, and just looking for every opportunity to do damage. He's got tanks in front of him, tanks at the back, and luckily there's no one above him who's capable of shooting him. Now, a few of his shots there not connecting, and that's basically because you can see there's a wall there, but once you've highlighted a tank, the outer line extends back beyond where the wall line is, so just got to be very careful. He's only got really a narrow triangle there that he can shoot through, and he wants to make sure his reticle doesn't go too far to the left or too high, as it will just basically hit the buildings or the bridge. And he's just looking for a tracking shot if he can, or the lower front plate, but of course they are angled as well, so that will basically increase the effective armour. Anyway, he's down to his last 12 shots of premium ammunition. He's only got 4 other shots which are both all HE, so basically needs to be a bit more selective or get some good targets. And here we go, E4. No, unfortunately that doesn't go through. Possibly being covered by the Martian, because don't forget the aim circle covers whatever it covers is possibility of where the shot will go. So if the dot is on the E4 but the aim circle edge covers the Martian, it might have hit the Martian, sort of thing. So just because people wonder, you know, sometimes where do your shots go? Why did they not hit the target? The Martian's pushing forward. He got 1 shot in, and he's got a chance to get another shot in. Is he going to get aimed in time? Yes, he does, but a bit of a low roll there. And the Martian just gets out of range, or out of view. But did he come down here for a reason, or just because he wasn't getting any shots up there? So looks like he's going to pull back. There's the Rossentray, who just comes out a bit too far and pays the price for it, gets sent back to the garage. Gardyy now on 6.7k. That's his first kill, actually, of the game, which is surprising. And there, well, just as I say, that gets his second kill. The E4 goes down, and now he's got the Martian. He should be able to go through. The Martian stays there, and unfortunately moved forward just in time to save his own hit points. But he's probably a 2-shot there from Gardyy's perspective. And Gardyy has 4 shots left. And there's still 8 minutes to go in this game. There's actually 8 rounds of ammunition left in total. But the rate is going, and he's in 7k, so he's done pretty phenomenally in terms of damage. But the teams are about equal, and they're equal on tanks lost as well, so this game is definitely still in the balance. Well, that balance just changed. Gardyy takes out the Tier 9 ML2, and there's the BZ75. Ooh, could have had an opportunity for another kill there. So 3 kills already, and he's got the Martian. Yep, that was definitely a 2-shot tank, so 1 more shot and that will be the kill there. But he's only got 2 rounds of premium ammunition left, and now then he goes on to HE. Now the Martian goes down. Fortunately the STI pushes up and destroys him. Well, there's an E100 up the back there as well. And now he's getting shot down on by an STI, which is no good. Puts in a shot in return and tries to angle up to basically make himself harder to shoot, but of course the STI is above him already. So goes for the cupola, and unfortunately that goes away. And now he's basically down to his 4 HE rounds. And as we know, with the HE reworking, unless it pens, it's not going to do much damage. So he's basically trying to get out of line of sight of this STI, or force him to come much further around. And he doesn't want to block the STI in front of him either. The team has a slight advantage now. Gardyy on 8.2k. He's not going to improve a whole lot now, just with the HE, and you can see there he just did 40 damage to the STI. And that's the sort of damage you'd expect, unless you can go through the actual armour and penetrate, in which case, you know, you'll do the full whack. So, and he won't even do damage with every shell there. So now down to his last shot. And the game isn't over yet, but it's probably in a winnable position. They're 3 tanks up, and they're nearly 2,000 hit points in front. So you'd think that this is going to be a win. Gardyy just telling the team that he's basically only got HE left and on his last shot. So he doesn't want to push forward here. And he's a 1-shot anyway, so it really wouldn't make any difference if he pushed or not, particularly at the slow speed that he would be travelling. So there's Conway there, looks like he's getting into position or going to go and challenge that STI. And Gardyy coming up here now to back up the Conway. This is a good move. In fact, the Conway takes down the STI. There's a E100 around here somewhere. Gardyy with 1 shot left, he's probably looking for the Charfouture 4 to shoot, but he's not going to make a whole lot more damage now in this game. And he's just asking, can I get the fade? And so I don't think he's going to have much chance. He'd have to have a very lucky outcome there. And we just saw in yesterday's video that Kaboom got a Fadens, but he was firing his normal ammunition at that point, and he needed it to basically get the kill. So you have to be in a pretty precarious position to need only 40 or 50 hit points to kill someone at the end using your last shot. So don't think that's going to happen. Now the Conway's also is in a reasonable position. He's full health, and here we are just looking for the Charfouture 4. At least he can probably penetrate the side of a Charfouture 4. Assume he doesn't hit the tracks. E100 gets damaged by Artie, so he's brought down a fair bit. And he gets taken out by BADATTANKING. So it's really just the Charfouture 4 left now. And everyone's converging on this segment of the map, so he's not getting away. He gets spotted either by the FV or the BADATTANKING. And they've found the Charfouture 4, so I don't think he's long for this world, although he has destroyed the BADATTANKING. So good on him for making a bit of a stand and put a shot into the FV, but he's not going to last, and there he is, destroyed by the Conway, and that is the end of the game. So a great game there from Gardyy. Let's go and have a look how that panned out in the detail. So we got the Ace Tanker Mastery Badge there for that game, and not surprisingly the High Caliber Award for doing 8.3k of damage and 3 kills. Nice amount of credits there, so we'll see how that played out. Let's have a look against the team performance. So the STI played with him, got 1190, but Gardyy got 1344, which is a good level of performance for a tier 10. And BADATTANKING that died at the end had done 2.5k almost, and yeah, quite a good bit of support from other tanks there. And the enemy team, the Charfouture 4 that died at the end, did just under 3k, as did the ML2 that died to Gardyy, and the Phase 1 did 1200, but he was basically in a pretty cramped position, couldn't do a whole lot there. That's not a problem. And there's a VZ55 that did 4.2k, and a CS63 did nearly 4k. So there's a lot of good performers on the other team, so I think they wouldn't be feeling all that happy with the result. Anyway, so Gardyy finished nearly all his shots there, fired 39, 31 hit and 22 pens, 1 splash. That's one of the HE shells. He did receive 18 hits back again, so he's in a pretty busy position there. But that gave him his damage total. Now, he did get some significant mission payouts there of 90k. Not exactly sure what that was based on, but he spent 158k on ammo and 20k on consumables, so in the end he lost 6k, but that's a minor amount, and I don't think he'd be unhappy with that. It would help him on his advancement to getting his 2nd mark of excellence. So great game there from Gardyy. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, you should try and do that. We'll have more great content to come, and thanks for watching.